Get real.
Get real. Get real. Get real. Get real.
Welcome, ladies and gentlefolk, to Get Real with Jesse Steele. It has been 20 years since I have said that out loud, and I could not be more shocked that I am. We're going to get to the point here in just a second, because even though my name is in the title, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. They are here this week to listen to Emma Romo, the owner of the new gym, Paradox Fitness, which is in the used to be Rite Aid Shopping Center. I guess we could call it Subway Shopping Center, Big Five Shopping Center. I don't know. Anyway, that is where it's at. And her opening date is February 1st. You definitely want to get out there, check it out, sign up, get going. I've seen so many videos on Instagram of what she's doing out there, and it is just amazing. The equipment they're going to have is top notch. I'll let her talk about it. We'll get into that in just a second. The one thing I want to point out, two things. In this episode, there is a secret word. When you hear Emma give the secret word, you can then go to her Instagram, which is paradox_fit, and DM her the secret word. And you have to spell it right. She gives it spelling. First 5 people that do so will receive a free Paradox Fitness t-shirt. So listen for that secret word. It could come at the beginning. It could come at the end. I'm not going to tell you. Chances are it comes towards the end. Oh, I didn't say that. Anyway, you need to listen for that word and get that. The next thing is she wants to make sure that everyone out there is aware. They are offering something for seniors, couples, family group discounts. They have bigger discounts even for law enforcement and military, first responders, and that extends to their spouses. So if any of those relate to you, then this is your place. You need to go there. Quick way to get a hold of her is, like I said already, on Instagram, paradox_fit. But also, her email is, be ready for this, big breath, PDX, as in Paul Dylan Xavier, paradoxfitness@gmail.com. PDX, paradoxfitness@gmail.com. You can reach out to her about those, or just, heck, go out there and check it out. She's the friendliest person on the planet, and you would have a very good time discussing your health and your goals with her. So, that being said, let's move on to Get Real with Emma Romo. Okay, welcome to Get Real with Jesse Steele. First thing I want to point out is that this is the second interview that we've done on the show, but it will be the first show airing. This is like a paradox. It's getting weird. See what I did there?
Hey.
Like that? Speaking of paradox, we are here with Emma Romo. Hi, Emma.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, good. Emma is starting the new gym in Bishop called
Paradox Fitness.
Perfect. You want to know where that's at? Where's it at?
It's at 1355 Rocking W Drive. We're out by Big Five and AutoZone.
Yep, right in the corner, back next to the bakery.
Yeah, next to the bakery.
So it's going to be really difficult to go to a gym next to a bakery when you're chubby like me. You know that, right?
So you go to the gym and then you go get your snack.
Yeah, then you just try to keep the calories less. See, the problem with the gym stuff is, and this, I've been chubby most of my life, and I just am proud of it, whatever. I bring the sexy back. I know that already. But the issue I have with gyms is, if I eat a Snickers bar, that's like 250, 400 calories, something like that. So I just put that on. And then I go to the gym for 2 hours on a treadmill, and I just burned off 75 calories. So how is it even possible to lose weight you have to eat crackers?
No, you just lift more weights so you have more muscle mass and you burn more fuel.
See, this is why you're doing the gym and not me. So what I need to do is get myself a subscription,
a membership
membership to Paradox Fitness.
Yes.
Then have Emma teach me.
I will teach you my ways.
Yeah. 6 months from now, I'll have to post a selfie where I'm all ripped.
Yes.
Like a 10-pack. Did they even make 10-packs?
You could make one if you.
Nice. All right, Starbucks drink. Okay, we're back. So we're going to talk with Emma here about Paradox Fitness and all she's doing with that. Everybody in town has been asking me, what's the new gym? What's the new gym? So we're like, we're going to reach out. So Tanner Rush, our reporter extraordinaire reached out to do a spotlight on, which it should happen this week, I believe. So you'll see that on easternsierranow.com. Of course, you have the mobile app. I don't even need to tell you that. But if you don't, go get the mobile app, Eastern Sierra Now. You just download it in your app store. And not only will you see the article about Paradox Fitness with Emma Romo by Tanner Rush, but you will have access to this podcast. So if you're listening to this somewhere other than the mobile app, what are you doing? Get on it.
Get with the program.
Exactly. All right, so there's some house cleaning out of the way. Let's get real with Emma Romo. Emma, how's it going?
Good, thanks. Yeah. Glad to be here today.
Perfect. Thank you for coming in. We're excited. So let's just do the quick 5-minute autobiography. Tell us about, your life. I know you grew up in Mammoth, correct? Mm-hmm. So just tell us a little bit about you, how you grew up, and how you got to the place where you're ready to start your own gym.
So, yeah, I grew up in Mammoth Lakes. I graduated from Mammoth High School in 2008, and then dabbled in snowboarding. I raced snowboarding in high school, and it became like my best outlet. It was one of my favorite things to do. And I grew up snowboarding. I think I started snowboarding when I was in 3rd grade because my brother did it, and I wanted to do that. And then after high school, I ended up coaching the snowboard race team for Mammoth High School, and did that for about 4 years, then decided it's time to go to college. So I went to Sierra Nevada College up in Tahoe and got my bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies, and came back and found myself wanting to coach snowboarding again. So in all that, I pursued snowboarding as a lifestyle career myself. I always wanted to make snowboarding something I could do as a job, whatever that looked like. I wasn't really into competing. I liked to race, but it was more about being a well-rounded snowboarder. I wanted to do great carving and riding all over the mountain. I wanted to do great in a race course. I wanted to be able to ride powder and cliffs and trees and all the backcountry stuff. And I also wanted to be able to ride solid in like the half pipe in the park. Did I say that already?
No.
And so pursued that for a while. And then I ended up, I was still involved in the snowboarding industry for, about 10-ish plus years. And then I found out I was pregnant, and right before COVID. And so we didn't know about COVID at the time when I found out I was pregnant. But then that March, everything was like, oh, we're going away. Everyone's shut down in their house. And I moved to Big Pine to have a home where I could raise my son. And prior to that, I had been living in a motorhome. So I was like, it's time to have a house.
I had to step up that game, yeah.
Yeah, we should have a house. So I've been in Bishop area ever since May of 2020. And after I had my son, it was like a learning experience, figuring out how to use my body again, because so much changes after pregnancy, and muscles don't work how they're supposed to or how you're used to them working anymore. And so I really got into learning how to navigate my body again and just use it to do all the things that I loved to do, like snowboarding and motocross and running and lifting weights. I'd gotten into fitness a bit prior, or during all of that, just for my health. And so decided I was going to get my personal training certification during all that. And I slowly built my own little business. I sort of call it a business. It was like an at-home online virtual type coaching that I did. And I offered a lot of stuff like for free and fun challenges, and just trying to get people to be part of my journey and support me, and was like, I'll turn this into something someday. And then a few years down the road, here I am, where, in those few years of developing my personal training business and doing online coaching and stuff, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to own a gym someday. And I just, opportunities somewhat like presented themselves, but things just never quite worked out. And I got a chance to open my own gym, and I couldn't keep waiting. And I was like, time is now. I can't wait for, other people to be ready to do this with me. So I'm doing this, and this is what I need to do for myself and my future and my family, and let's do it. So here we are.
That's awesome.
Opening a gym.
It's the American dream, right?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. A lot of people, like I've thought about it a lot in the past with starting my own business with Eastern Sierra now and going forward with things. And it's like, oh my God, this is so hard. And it's like, yeah, you're already in the top 1% of people. Most people don't start their own things and try their own stuff.
True.
Take the chance, pay the money, put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. Sweat equity is what it's called. And that's what Amy taught me with High Point Solar. So Amy taught me sweat equity. So when I'm like, well, I need somebody to come in here and lay this flooring, she goes, why? And I'm like, well, I have bad knees. So, and so I'm like, ugh. So I'm in here doing a lot of it. Eventually I did get some help, but because that's a lot of flooring.
Yeah, I'll say.
But, she and I did everything. I mean, I probably did 75% of the work in here by myself.
Yeah.
And then, because she runs a whole business by herself. And then on weekends and stuff, she'd come in and do the stuff that I didn't know how to do, that she could do. Mm-hmm. And then we had to hire a couple of things. But point being, you're already in the top percent. So applause for that.
Thank you.
I mean, it is very hard to start your own business.
Yeah.
Especially once you start getting into employees, taxes, you got to pay all that kind of stuff.
Stop,
it's like,
stop.
Quit, I quit, no more gym. I mean, it's crazy, and we do another show on here called Business Matters with Amy Smith. Speaking of Amy with High Point Solar, she'll do a show where she talks with business owners about what are the pros and cons of owning a business in the Eastern Sierra. So you'll probably get hit up to be on that. So, talk once you get going and you get the chance to really see how it's going. So that's great. Remember from the intro, there's going to be a secret word here pretty soon. And when that happens, if you're one of the first, how many people?
5
people to reach out to Emma in her DMs on Instagram. Mm-hmm. On Instagram, it's Paradox Fit.
Yeah, it's Paradox_fit.
Okay. First 5 people that have that word spelled correctly, you'll see what I mean when you get there, you get a free t-shirt for Paradox Fit. So you're going to want that. So keep listening. I'm not telling you when it's going to happen, so you're going to have to keep listening. So I want to get back into the family thing just a little bit before we move forward to the gym. Mm-hmm. So one question I had while you were talking is, you had your son just before COVID came out. Mm-hmm. What was it like raising a baby during quarantine? I couldn't raise myself during quarantine.
Can I cuss on this?
Yes.
It was hell. Yeah. I've heard from so many moms that when you become a mom and mm-hmm. having kids can be isolating. Like the newborn stage, mm-hmm. you just feel so alone because your life is now like baby. But on top of that, it was COVID. Nobody was going anywhere still. Yeah. People were still not interacting. But Indy was born. My son's name is Indy. Was born in August.
It's like we're soulmates. Anybody that knows me understands.
He was born August 2020. So this was I wore a mask in the delivery room and was like, this sucks. But it was very isolated, and it was, I remember going into the grocery store with my son for the first time, and here I am in a mask, and I had gotten this little face thing for my kid that was like a glass protector over his face. And I had all these people looking at me like, why is she in here with a baby? And I'm like, I have to eat.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? Fortunately, everything, we all got COVID that winter, and everyone was fine. But mm-hmm. When you don't know, nobody knew anything. And I had a newborn baby that I was like, well, let's hope this all goes smoothly. It was crazy. I'm glad that's over.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Yeah, no. And at least Indy's older now.
Yes, Indy is 3.
Probably a little easier to deal with mm-hmm. as far as that would go.
Yes,
there's a whole different thing for 3, but that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun times. Okay, so that's cool. Another thing I wanted to touch on, we'll get into some snowboarding stuff a little bit because that's definitely the area.
Yeah.
You mentioned motocross. Did I see a picture of you with like a Honda 250X or something around there? What?
Yeah. So I got for Mother's Day / it was kind of Mother's Day. My husband got me a 2022 Honda CRF 250R.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
the
nice.
track bike.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
amazing.
Oh,
I love that thing.
Yeah. Amy, also she races for fun, not like
Yeah.
races, but like every day. Like tomorrow's her birthday. In fact, we're going out in the morning,
heck
and so she
yeah.
has a brand new KTM 250.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so she's just loving that right now. And so I knew if I saw that and I didn't ask on here and she heard it and I didn't bring up the motorcycle stuff, she'd kill me.
Yes.
So there you go. So we'll have to make you guys buddies and go,
Yeah.
right? Because she loves it. Her and her son go out. He has a 250, I think it's 250X, something like that. So it's not the enduro, but it's not the track either. Someone there, and he races that, and he's trying to get on something new. But yeah, she completely dunked her bike this year on there's a girls group around here that they all ride.
Yeah.
And it was a big nasty puddle of alkali mud out by the river, and they went around one side and they pointed and told her to go the other way because it'd be easier. Blunk.
Oh no.
And so just completely blah. So they had to take her bike completely apart and put it back together. And so she said, you know what? It's time. I'm buying a brand new one. So she brand new KTM.
That's awesome.
It's so much fun. So
Yay.
anyway, that's cool. There's so much to do around here. It's
Yes.
Eastern Sierra. I
Yes.
mean, not everything is just fishing and skiing. You know what I mean? There's so many things to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we love it here.
How long have you been riding motorcycle?
Gosh, let's see. I think I learned when my husband first got a bike again in like 2016.
Okay.
So not terribly long. But for a while, we were part of this group called Over the Hill Gang. And it's basically like for women, you have to be 25 or older to race. So we go around and do all the races and stuff. And
cool.
It was, I miss it a bit,
Nice.
but I still ride. So
Nice.
more.
Good deal. Yeah, I'll have to set you up with them because they go pretty often. It's pretty
Please
fun.
do.
A lot of big pine tracks. I mean, you live in Big Pine, so you know. You know, and that's as soon as I opened her eyes to that, because she's up in Stony Slopes, and there's a lot up there.
Yeah.
But then she came down here, and I was like, "Oh, you want to see the coyote pits? You want to see the different stuff?" And she was like, "Oh my god,
It's amazing.
So yeah, she loves to bring it down, and we'll do that. So we'll move on from that. So snowboarding. So that was your goal, was to get into a career. Snowboarding and stuff like that. Did you ever hurt yourself or anything, or just decide to kind of go away from it at some point?
I mean, gosh, I've had injuries over the years snowboarding.
Yeah.
I broken a collarbone. I was training with the mountain snowboard team for a while, and compound fractured my wrist. And then I did have a big head injury one season when I was I was probably at my highest level of snowboarding that I'd ever been in, and I was lapping Main Park and hitting the jump line in Main Park, and I don't know what got into my head, but I was like, I need to go a little bit faster, and I went a little too fast, overshot the jump, and I knocked myself out. I had a minor traumatic brain injury, but slight brain bleed. I can talk. A slight brain bleed that they were like, okay, if this doesn't stop, we need to fly you out to Reno. Fortunately, it stopped, but that was like probably the biggest injury snowboarding I had. It didn't stop me though. I kept after snowboarding for a few years, and then to be honest, I don't think I've ever really. Like snowboarding is still in my heart, like and soul. It's one of my biggest passions. But times change. I live in Big Pine now.
Yeah.
I coached snowboarding for 2 years after moving down here, and I was like, I can't afford this. I'm spending money to have a job.
Yeah.
So because the drive and the hours I was able to work and all of that, it just didn't make sense. So I kind of transitioned into something else, and fitness sort of took over. This is the first year in my entire life I've never had a ski pass.
Oh.
And I cried a little bit when
Yeah.
I was like, what?
See that being hard.
That was hard. But time and a place, I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get some vouchers So
Perfect. It'll work.
Yes.
You know enough people.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone in the last 10 years, because I know somebody and they hook me up.
Yes.
I haven't popped one in a long time.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And it used to be great because right out of high school, just shave and go in and be like, oh, I left my pass at home or whatever. And they'd be like, okay, $2 and you could go.
It doesn't work anymore.
They didn't believe me anymore. So, yeah. You can still pull it off.
Oh, thank you.
I can't. Okay, we're gonna cut to a break really fast, and then we'll be back to go with more Get Real with Emma Romo.
Woo.
Winter air service to the Eastern Sierra is right around the corner. Advanced air service will begin on November 22nd and fly through April 29th, 2024. Catch a flight to or from Carlsbad or Hawthorne LAX on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, or Monday, direct into Mammoth Lakes. United Airlines will fly daily December 21st through March 30th to San Francisco and Denver, direct to Bishop. Get more information on air service into the Eastern Sierras at visitmammoth.com/flying.
Mammoth Lakes.
Tantalize your taste buds and elevate your dining experience at Astorga's Mexican Restaurant, a family-run gym where passion meets flavor. Our authentic Mexican dishes are crafted with love, making each bite a journey south of the border. Immerse yourself in the vibrant atmosphere where the warmth of family hospitality is as palpable as the spices in our dishes. Order online now at astorgasmexicanrestaurant.com and bring the fiesta to your table. Astorga's Mexican Restaurant, where every meal feels like family. And we're back. Get Real with Jesse Steele. Thank you to our sponsors. Make sure you get out there and check those out. It's really important. It keeps the show going. It keeps Eastern Sierra Now going. In a small town, it is really important to keep it local. Shop at local places. It's Christmas coming up. Hopefully this will be out before Christmas. If not, I hope you went and shopped locally for Christmas, because that's what we're doing here. So many big box places have killed. Look at Main Street. My dad's favorite saying is, "It looks like a jack-o'-lantern. You got one tooth and then no tooth and no tooth and one tooth and no tooth." And that's true, unfortunately. Yeah. And so it's really important to shop locally and stuff. So all of our advertisers are local. So please patronize them, if you will. That is the correct word, by the way. Okay, let's just point out a couple of things before we get back into this. Number one, Patreon. You know what that is? You ever heard of Patreon?
I have.
Yeah. So Patreon, it's patreon.com/Eastern Sierra Now. If you go on there, that's the very best way to help us if you don't have a business and you want to advertise with us. If you do have a business and you want to advertise with us, please reach out to me at info@easternsierranow.com. Wink, wink. But if you don't have a business, the best way is through patreon.com. You can donate whatever you want, $1, $5, $100, $10 million, whatever you want to give me each month. That helps keep this studio going. Emma can attest, there's a lot of money into this building right now that come out of my own pocket. So anything can help, and it helps create more, not only jobs, we'll get more reporters, we'll get things like that, but also the ability to keep getting you the news like we do. You love Eastern Sierra Now. You know how it goes. We strive to push news every single minute that it happens. We put it out, whether it's a press release, whether it's something we've reported on, whatever it is, and then engaging entertainment and content like we're doing right now here with Emma Romo. So let's get back to getting real with Emma Romo. So Emma, one more snowboarding question. Mm-hmm. So were there any challenges? And see, I don't think so. I'm asking this because I want to see what you say. But in all honesty, snowboarding seems like one of the most inclusive sports that there is. I don't see much of a divide between the men and the women and that kind of, you know what I mean? So that's my question is, was there any challenges as a female athlete in snowboarding? And did those experiences shape you in perspective on like gender dynamics and fitness now that you're moving into that?
So yes and no. I feel like with snowboarding, one thing that really frustrated me a lot was like, just there was this view, at least when I was really getting into it. So like back in 2008, 2009, mm-hmm. there was kind of this separation where it was like, oh, those are the girls. Those are the snow bunnies,
Okay.
And I was over here like, screw you. I can do just exactly what the guys can do.
No doubt.
Like, watch me.
Yeah.
And so I think that was something for me that I was, one thing when I raced in high school, mm-hmm. that I took pride in was my race times were faster than all the guys out there.
Nice.
And I was like, so what? I'm a girl.
Yeah,
Watch,
yeah.
I can keep up with the guys.
Guess what? Bunnies are faster.
Yeah. And maybe some of that is because I was raised with, I mean, there's 4 daughters and my older brother, just 1 boy. And so I think when my dad raised us to just like do all the same shit like the guys do. We went out hunting. We did all the sports. We did the rock climbing, the wakeboarding, the surfing, the water skiing, just like all the things. And there was nothing about like being a girl that like, you know, like we went hunting together. Yeah, we just did all the things so that like typically are looked at as one or the other.
Right.
And so when it came to snowboarding, like there was a bit of that in the industry. I think that's changed. But when I was starting out, you know, I was like, I want to show up. I want to do what the guys can do. I want to do it with style and not look like I'm sketchy and gonna hurt myself doing it. So yeah, that it maybe took me a little longer to like to get to certain places because I was stubborn and I was like, no, that wasn't good. I'm not going to claim that I have that yet. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I get it solid. So it's like, I don't look sketchy while I'm doing it. Nice. Like, do it with some style in class. But
perfect. Yeah. So you excelled on most of the guys in a lot of stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool. One thing I wanted to bring up that we discovered through talking with each other is that her older brother Ben was my best friend growing up. And I didn't realize her last name was Romo. As soon as I did, I was like, wait a second. So we talked. So what I want to know is, one thing I'd point out is that Ben actually introduced me to podcasting. 10, 12 years ago, he was obsessed. I didn't even know what a podcast was. And he was like, dude, you got to listen to this. And we were driving from Orange County to Bishop, and we listened to some podcast the whole way. And I'm like, this is so boring. But then I eventually got into it, and I'm like, wait a second. Okay, this is really cool. And now all I do is listen to podcasts. So thank you for that, Ben. I do want to point out that you did all the boy stuff with Ben and your dad. Did Ben play Barbies and stuff with you?
No.
Dang it. I wanted something to hold over him.
No. Ben, Ben was the one that's like, no, come on, let's go do this. This is more fun. This is cool. Yeah. But none of us were ever really into the Barbie thing.
You did
either.
Yeah. You did the outside stuff. And that's how we were growing up. We were Navy SEALs every minute of every day. Growing up. And so we were out setting traps or building forts or doing something. So that's
Tell me
hilarious.
about that. Yep. That's awesome.
That's what we did. Cool. All right. So let's move into paradox so we can get closer to the secret word. So the gym. I'm sure you were going to other local gyms. And was it sort of a situation like I was with other radio stations where it's just like, you know what? This isn't what I want to see. I want to see better stuff, better programs, better technology, better utilized stuff. There's 100 things on my department. I'm guessing you're in the same boat. Was that, not to knock other gyms by any means, but is that what led you into doing your own thing? Like, I just want to see it be different.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was inspired a lot too by other gyms that I would go to. Like, I'm one of those weird people that goes on vacation and is like, okay, where's the gym that I can go to while I'm here to get my workout in?
You and Amy are soulmates. I'm telling you, you're going to have to hang out.
Love it. Yeah, I'm like on there on my phone looking, oh, these ones have day passes and they're open 24 hours. So I can go, I'll go before you guys wake up. And then, I'm the weirdo that does that. But I'd go to these other gyms and be like, this gym was amazing. They had, I would just be in awe of like the quality and the stuff they had and just the space, and it was like, it'd be so cool if we could have something like that here. And there was discussion of somehow making that happen someday, and I just always was like, down the road someday I would love to own my own gym and make it like those gyms that we need down here. I was like, there's nothing like that here. So
It's awesome. And it kind of leads to my next question. I was going to say the fitness industry. See, these questions come from Rusty the Robot, by the way, who's my co-host, which is Rusty the Robot is code for Chat GPT. And the joke in that is, and I'll stop explaining this after a couple of episodes, is my original co-host on Get Real with Jesse Steele's name was Rusty back when I was 15. So I had to kind of incorporate him some way. So Rusty the robot works perfect with ChatGPT. Yeah. I'm dumb. So the fitness industry is ever evolving. What trends do you see shaping the future of fitness? And how do you incorporate them into your own gym? So you basically just touched on that a little bit with going to other more advanced gyms perhaps and saying, wow, that's cool. I want to do that. So what are you grabbing? What are you bringing in? And how do you see that evolving for Bishop?
So strength and getting strong is just, it's so trendy right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's the thing that the kids want to do, right? But then also I think people are realizing that health is, people know they have to take care of themselves. So there's a wide range of people from the young generation up to the older generations that I think is finally realizing how important taking care of yourself is when it comes to your fitness. And so Paradox Fitness, we're going to have a wide selection of like free weights and plate loaded, types of equipment in there. But I've also made a point of adding in machines and stuff that are friendly to beginners or, an older population. We're going to have a selection of cardio. There's so many different forms of exercise that people like these days, from CrossFit to yoga classes, just people that want to do more mobility and body weight stuff. And then there's the people that want to get in there and get after it, like myself. It's like, I'm going to lift up this much weight today and get stronger and really just push themselves as hard as they can. And so I want to provide a space that caters to all of that, that has a little bit of everything. Because a lot of those gyms I've gone to are like that. They're not just a CrossFit gym or just a powerlifting gym or just a yoga studio. It's like we have a little bit of everything. And it's more of like a club, like an athletic club that has something to pick from for everyone.
Perfect. I was actually going to ask about that, like CrossFit, and like you just kind of mentioned. So there's all these little, I don't know the right word for it, cliques. Groups of I'm CrossFit or I'm a whatever, and you have all these different things. So that was what I was going to get to, and you kind of went there. Are you going to incorporate other things into your gym, or is this just here's the weights, come use them? Or are you going to be teaching classes? Are you going to be teaching types of classes, like you're doing this program versus this program, or are you going to offer a bunch of stuff? What's your plan there?
So we are working on adding in people to do classes. So I've spoke with a couple of people locally that teach classes at other facilities currently, but they're not employees of those facilities. They just like to teach the classes. They come and do those.
Do a cycling class or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd like to, we want to bring more classes in as we grow. We do have a couple of trainers that are going to be doing, personal training. You can sign up with them for one-on-one stuff for starters. But ideally down the road, we'd like to have, yoga classes. We want to have like a strength class where people can actually go through with someone and go through the machines and do
a circuit or something.
Circuits. Yeah. So that's more in the works still. But yeah, I want to have a place where people can come in and also that, they don't have to have a membership to be there. They can pay like a drop-in fee to come and do the class. That's always nice too. Yeah, because there's not a ton like that down here in Bishop. Yeah. And I think it'd be really cool to have those options because some people need that. Not everyone is motivated to go spin like crazy on a bike for an hour. I'm not. I hate the bike.
Yeah, totally.
But
there's other classes, and that's what's cool.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of that anymore. I mean, maybe there is, and I'm just not in that world. But I remember when there was always a different class every single day to go to at different gyms or different places. And it's like, all I really see anymore is like CrossFit. And I'm probably wrong. I'm sure there's stuff. Go ahead and call me in whatever name you want to in the book on Facebook or something. But I'm just like, it used to be like, there's this. Now I see like silks and stuff. Because like in our building, Sarah Kaiser has her silk studio around the corner.
Awesome.
And so she'll do that pretty often. But can you see me doing silks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be graceful. I would get all the points. It'd be like Will Ferrell in Old School. You remember that when he got the ribbon?
Yes.
It would be like that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's cool. Another thing that you already excel at, and I've been following you for 6 months or whatever it is on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Social media plays a significant role in the fitness industry. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate the pressure for a curated online presence while promoting authenticity and real results?
So from my experience, like I've figured out how to set up my page and the types of posts that I want to make, but everything I make is something that has helped me or helped, that I've learned in my journey as I've gone along. And the things, especially after having my son, that just made fitness and like health sustainable for me. So I guess I have my 3 minimum posts a week that I always try to make happen. And I want it to be something valuable to people who are reading it. Is that what you're looking for? That's enough answer.
Yeah, you really represent well on social media. A lot of people
thank
don't.
you. Yeah.
And that's one thing, just shameless plug here. Eastern Sierra now does do social media management for people. So if you're a business or you just want to get in the influencer game, go ahead and give me a call. I can hook you up. Anyway, Emma doesn't need that. And that's the point. She's very good at it.
Well, and I make sure everything's genuine. Like for a while I did use for some of my posts.
Yeah.
I would plug stuff in to ChatGPT to be like, come up with a caption for me. And it took away some of the authenticity of it for me.
Yeah.
And it was right, but a lot of the time I found myself just rewriting it anyways.
Right.
And so I kind of steered away from that. And yes, does it make myself have a lot more work to do? For sure. But I also think that it brings more value to people when it's something that I would tell them in person, and I'm just typing it out and putting it in.
All right, I'll get rid of Rusty the Robot.
No.
I'm just
no,
kidding.
I love ChatGPT for other things.
Oh, it's the best. But I do agree. And on that point about ChatGPT, what I tend to use ChatGPT for, and I think it's the correct way to do it, because, see, I'm afraid of Terminator. I totally believe that's going to happen. And this is the start of it. I think ChatGPT is a backbone. It's your framework.
Yeah.
It puts it out for you, and it is up to you to go. Like, if you look at my notes here, there's 50 things crossed out, and that's because I don't want to ask that, And so you go through and make it your own, and it just starts you in a place where, okay, this is where you start from. Now make it yours.
Yeah.
Problem is going to be in 10 years, we're all going to be idiots.
Yes.
So everybody's just going to use ChatGPT for everything. But we can be buff idiots if you join Paradox Fitness. So you've been a personal trainer already for a while, and you are going to be, of course, offering that out there as well.
Yes.
Once you get out. When are you opening, by the way?
February 1st.
February 1st. Yeah. Mark your date. Can you already sign up now?
Yes, you can.
You should. How do you do that?
So on our Instagram page, there is a link in my bio that'll take you directly to your page to create your membership and choose your pre-sale membership. We are offering $10 off our monthly rate.
Cool.
And that's good for 6 months. So you'd lock in that 6 months at the discounted rate. Or, gosh, I should actually get the address so I can tell you the email or the website.
You get it, and I'll magically cut this so it looks like you knew it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, I should know it by heart.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, now magically, bloop, what is it?
So it's paradoxfitness.gymmasteronline.com.
Okay.
So should I spell that?
Sure.
paradoxfitness.gymmaster, GYMMASTER online, ONLINE.com.
Perfect. That's not so bad. No. Those are all pretty easy words.
Yeah.
Not like the secret word, which is...
Castell.
Okay, how do you spell that?
Kastelle.
Kastelle. You heard it. There it is. That's a secret word. DM her on Instagram at paradox_fit. And the first 5 are getting a free Paradox Fit t-shirt.
Yep.
Perfect. So there you go. Go. Do it. Kastelle. And I'm telling you, if you spell it wrong, it doesn't count.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the word. Go for it. So next question. Nutrition is a crucial aspect of fitness training. So with being a personal trainer and everything with this out there, how are you going to educate your clients on the importance of balanced diet and overall well-being?
So I am...
As I drink my Starbucks, go ahead and tell me.
I am a really strong advocate for intuitive eating. And I know that's been a big thing kind of over this, social medias lately. People chat about it a lot. It's a buzzword. But it's, I like to count macros. I like to come up with somewhat of a plan for people. But I'm loose with that. Like I definitely am all about enjoying yourself within reason. Like don't skip your holiday meal, or if you want that candy bar today, like go have a Snickers bar, because if you don't, your body, you're just gonna want it more, so I really, cravings get stronger the longer you hold them off. And I know this from experience because let me tell you, I stopped eating like chocolate for, I don't know, I cut like all sugar out and stuff, and for quite about a month. And when I went back to having chocolate, it's all I wanted. I was like, I just want all the chocolate chips. And, but what I did was I let myself enjoy chocolate every day for like a month. And honestly, within that month, I was like, I don't feel like chocolate today.
Yeah.
So like, I really believe that letting your body's going to crave what it needs. If you are taking care of it and drinking enough water and making sure you're still eating your veggies and getting your protein and staying active, it's, your body's smart. You just have to listen to it and give it what it needs. Okay. Because a lot of the times we maybe are too restrictive, and I think it backfires on us.
So my body needs Captain Crunch.
Well, maybe not every day, but yeah, like.
What are your thoughts on some of the when I say fad, I don't mean to put it down, but like fad, like for instance, I'm on keto right now. Okay. And so this is just coffee and cream. I'm joking about. It's not that bad. So, I've been about 3 weeks now. And what I've chosen to do is, and I haven't got into ketosis yet. And for those of you that don't know what keto is, it's no sugar, no carbs basically. And you get into ketosis. The gist of it is your body runs on carbs and sugar. If that's what you eat all the time, you get rid of that, your body starts to run on fat, and then it eats away your fat. So you have to eat a lot of fat. So no joke, I'm rubbing bacon grease on steaks at night, and I'm losing 2 pounds a day. So, so it works. Yeah. But I have heard things like keto work really well for like guys. But then girls, it doesn't work. Or some guys, it doesn't work. It does work with me. I lost 40 pounds on keto. So it's kind of its own thing. What are your thoughts on some of these? And if you had to pick one for somebody to kind of lend their life towards, what's a good diet to kind of push on that? Because I will tell you, keto is very hard to maintain. Yeah. Eventually, it's like, oh my God, I can't even have a stick of gum. You know what I mean? It gets bad. So I can do it for 6 months or so, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do it anymore. And then I break and I gain 20 pounds. And then I have to, it's hard.
Well, so I think that diets like that they work for some people, right? But I think that there's only so long that anyone can do anything like that. Yeah. And that being because, like you say, like, I can't even have a stick of gum. Like, willpower is only so strong. Yeah. And so, I ate paleo for like 3 years for certain health reasons. I was, I'm a type 1 diabetic. Oh, okay. And I did it for balancing out my hormone levels and making it so my blood sugars were more responsive to insulin, and I just dabbled in that and cut out like grains and dairy and legumes, and it was amazing. It worked. It helped me. just feel better in general. I didn't realize how crappy I felt until I started feeling better. Now, so I would probably say I wouldn't recommend any one diet to anybody as like, because it really is individual and depends on your health history, your background, like what your experience with food is up until that point. Everyone's so different. But I think it's a great place to start because it really just focuses on eating whole foods and cutting out a lot of the processed stuff, which in general is probably just better for anyone, whether you do it more keto or more paleo or more carnivore, like whatever diet it is, as long as you're cutting out like the processed stuff, I don't think you can go wrong.
I've heard that the best way to go grocery shopping is to stay to the outside of the building. Don't go to the middle and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Which lends to exactly what you're saying. That's paleo stuff. I will vouch for that. I've had processed food my entire life. I've never had a good diet. Growing up, I've always been, what am I eating from Taco Bell tonight? And when I go on keto and it forces you to eat good stuff, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
And then my body still wants the sugar and the carbs all the time. It never gets up being an alcoholic or something. It never goes away. But all of a sudden I have energy and I feel better. Amy says my eyes look brighter. And she's like, oh, there's my boyfriend. And I'm like, oh man, I must have had it bad. So I hear you. It's just eat what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Yeah.
And also another side that's important goes right back to what we're talking about is working out. Yeah. Getting your heart rate up, building muscle. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. You think to lose weight, you have to go run on the treadmill. Yeah. No, you don't. You have to gain muscle, right? And that burns more calories from what I understand. Yep. So you want to go into that a little bit and explain?
Yeah. So your body burns more energy just maintaining the muscle you have than maintaining fat. Right. So the more muscle you have, the more calories your body is going to burn just at a standstill than if you replaced that same amount of weight with body fat. Right. So a lot of, running's great. If that is what you want to do to go, to get your activity in, like, don't stay away from it. Like, if you're not going to go, if you're either going to like go for a run or not do anything at all, like go for a run. Yeah. If that's what is getting you active. But it is also, I think that's why strength has gotten so big in the industry lately, is because people are realizing, wait, muscle helps. Like that physique I want, that lean toned look, that requires some muscle. Yeah. That's what gives you that shape.
Otherwise, you just look emaciated.
So, and also as you age, we lose muscle just naturally as we age, if you're not maintaining it. Right. So, that's why it's really important for the elderly population to continue to lift weights and go for your walks, but come in and lift some weights, practice like picking up things over your head, work on balance, strengthen those muscles that give you the stability to walk upstairs or bend over and get back up easily and pick things up off the ground, because those are day-to-day things that you got to do. And
that's the importance. And so speaking of, that was another question I was going to say. So your gym, it's for men, women, elderly, younger, everybody. Anybody can go. It's not like just a women's gym, just a men's jet kind of thing. That, of course, is for everybody. And then are some of the classes and things that you're going to be developing out there for like maybe say an elderly group or something, where they're going to do something that's very simple for somebody that's 25, but for somebody that's 75, it might be kind of difficult, but that's what they need to prolong their life basically and their happiness.
Yeah, I would love that. So if you know any instructors that are looking for places to hold classes, come find me, because I want to offer stuff like that. And I'm the kind of person that's like, I'll do everything myself. But really, you guys, I can't do everything myself. I've been in the gym, like doing everything myself. I have not hired a single contractor. And I am like, okay, this is my life now. But also when it comes to like taking care of other people, like I know there's other people that's what they love to do. And I'm looking for instructors, and I'd love to bring them in and offer a variety of classes to people, and what people are looking for,
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have an idea for a class you want to take, maybe go pitch it and see if you can figure it out, or if you can get somebody else to do it. That could be cool.
Please do.
That's great. You could do the floor is lava out there. You have to jump across to the couch in the t-shirt. And, that was my favorite game.
It was my favorite game. My son plays that game.
Oh, awesome. I bet he could teach it.
Yes.
You could play Indiana Jones on the floor in there.
That's where his name came from.
I had a feeling. It's Indiana Jones is my lifelong obsession, so that's why I mentioned that. I bet most people know that. So, okay, awesome. Let's cut to one more break, and then we'll be back to finish out with Emma Romo. Uncover the pulse of Eastern Sierra politics on Just a Minute with Amy Smith. Informative, insightful, and dedicated to promoting voting. Tune in exclusively on Eastern Sierra Now. Available on YouTube and podcast. Your vote, your voice, make it count. Okay, we are back. Get real with Jesse Steele, but nobody really cares what I have to say, even though my name's in the title. So we're going to get real with Emma Romo and finish this up talking about Paradox Fit Gym, right?
Paradox Fitness.
Paradox Fitness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's fit or fitness. Sometimes people make words short.
The Instagram name Paradox Fitness was taken, so
that's why, because I've seen the fit down there, so that makes sense. So that is the best place to find you, probably, is Instagram DMs or something.
Yeah, we I do have a Gmail for the business. It's just pdxparadoxfitness@gmail.com.
Okay, pdx@gmail.com.
PDX, like
Paul,
kind of like
dog, X-ray,
like the airport PDX, but. Okay. I don't know. It just shortened Paradox.
Paradox, PDX.
PDX.
Okay, at gmail.com.
PDX Paradox Fitness at gmail.com.
Oh, so it's PDX Paradox Fitness at gmail.com?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So I totally gave that wrong. So it's PDX Paradox Fitness at gmail.com.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
Perfect. So yeah, you can write up there if you have any ideas. You want to reach out to discuss how to get a membership. You want to teach a class. You want to suggest a class. I mean, you're kind of open at this point. The sky's the limit.
Come by the gym. Yeah. Even I'm there pretty much every single day of the week now because I'm doing a lot. But just come knock on the door or come around to the back and come on in and be like, hey, I want to chat with you about whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect. Okay, so a couple last questions here, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So here's another Rusty the Robot question. In a society that often emphasizes instant results, like ChatGPT, how do you encourage patience and persistence in your clients' fitness journeys? That is the hardest part when you're chubby like me and you don't really have that I'm going to the gym every single day and that's what I do. It is very difficult to be like, I've been going for 3 weeks and I've got nothing from this. So how do you keep that person going?
So I approach working with my clients a little bit differently, and we take the general measurements, weights, like that kind of thing. But that's like back burner stuff. I really like to work with my clients on coming up with a goal, what's something you want to do, whether it's a strength-based goal or a certain distance ran, or maybe you have a race you want to do, or something that you've always thought it'd be cool to go do this mountain bike ride or something. So what we like to focus on is those smaller strength-based goals that they're just a little more, they're more rewarding because let's say you've been going to the gym 3 days a week and your diet's been maybe off a little bit. You don't feel like you've really lost much weight. You look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you're like, nothing's changed. But hey, last week when I started, or 2-3 weeks ago when I started, I could do 3 push-ups and that was it, Hey, wait, we're 3 weeks down the road. I can do 6 now, right? Focusing on those little goals those are better things to look at, I think, because that's progress. And I tell people, one thing I have said over and over and over through this whole thing since I started my personal training and my own journey is practice makes progress. And there's no such thing as perfection because perfect looks different to everybody.
True.
So if it's hard and it's challenging you, it's changing you. You're making you're making growth. Even if you're in there and you're like, well, I couldn't finish all the reps. Well, did you try until it was really hard and then you just couldn't keep going? Yeah. Like your body pushed harder than it did yesterday if you weren't doing it at all. Right.
True.
So, yeah, that's kind of strength-based goals is huge, or, small goals. We set like those more attainable short-term goals. And then just reminding yourself, whether you're training with somebody or you're doing it on your own, that if you're challenging yourself, it's changing you and creating growth.
Yeah. I heard a really good one the other day that it was something along the lines of, I don't know exactly how it went, but it's something along the lines of, it's really hard to get into shape, but it's also really hard to be out of shape. So it depends on the in-between times when you're not doing something. How do you want to be?
Yeah.
So both of them are hard.
Yeah.
So it's trust me, it's better to be in shape. Trust me. Yeah. So, okay. Moving into another, we kind of touched on a little bit right there too. Mental health is gaining recognition as a vital component of overall well-being. How do you incorporate mindfulness and mental resilience in your fitness programs?
I think this one's hot. Like, this is a big one because, like, strength for me has taught. When I go to lift weights, there's sometimes where I'm trying to go for a certain reps or use a certain weight and I fail. And strength training has taught me to like get back up and do it again kind of thing. I mean, a lot of things have taught me that, but it teaches people, I think, how to be strong and push through. Because especially if you're into strength training, or distance running even, or anything that is, well, challenging you and changing you, like fitness in general, it's a challenge. And it teaches you how strong you actually are, I think, by being able to get through that workout. It definitely takes some mental strength to show up and just do the workout in the first place, because I don't know, like, I love torturing myself in the gym. Like, it's something I really enjoy, pushing myself really hard. I like end up on the ground. I'm like, I can't breathe. That was really hard. I can't feel my legs. But, other people are like, you're crazy. What is wrong with you? But so for me, we got to back up. This one's, I feel like I'm all over the place with this one. That's because cool. I'm like thinking about how all of like fitness got me through my dad.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I was back in the gym a week after my dad passed away.
Yeah. Because
it was the only thing that I feel like I could control.
Yeah. And you were very close to your dad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He was our family's rock.
Right.
I mean, he was, yeah. And so, we lost him so unexpectedly that I just didn't know what to do anymore. But the only thing that felt normal and consistent was my workouts. And that, with my workouts, it was like, you go, you show up and they're hard, but you get through them, or you can push yourself as hard as you want. And, or sometimes you fail, but you get back up again and like try again tomorrow or the next time you go do that workout.
Right.
It's like, well, I didn't lift that much weight today, but next time around I'm going to do it, Yeah. So I think for me, with losing my dad, it was like, this sucks right now, but you have to pick yourself back up and learn how to keep going.
Yeah, it's a perfect analogy for the gym and what you said, because doing that is you have to get through each day, and it sucks, but you'll get to the next one.
Yeah.
You'll try harder the next day. You'll grow. And that's how grief works. And you go the opposite end from pretty soon. It's always sucks. It's never going to suck.
Yeah.
But it gets bearable.
Yeah,
at some
exactly.
point. And that's the same thing going back to the mental health question. Somebody that's like, say, bipolar, of course you need to be consulted with your doctor and go to therapy. And I'm not saying that just going to the gym is going to fix that, but it's sure going to help.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the same thing. Maybe today I had a manic episode, and maybe tomorrow it won't be so bad. Same thing as going to the gym. Okay, today I only lifted 20 pounds, but tomorrow maybe I'll get 22. And that's the same thing. So it's always a positive, the next step. My mom always told me as a kid, when things are up and down, it's a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. So if you get this really awesome high and things are super cool, you have to have an equal low.
Yeah.
In order for it to work. So when you go low, it's going to be awful and you just want to die. And that's it. I can't do more. But guess what? As soon as you hit that low point, you're already on your way back up because that momentum carries you there. And that's one thing I've always used whenever I'm having a bad day or something's awful. It's about to get better. So you just have to ride it through. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it. Same thing with the gym. Yeah. Today sucks. I can only do 3 push-ups.
Right.
But you keep going and you're going to get to your 6. And I think that's the point of having a gym. Having somebody, a place that you can go to where you're not going to be looked down upon or, pushed out the door because you're not Muscle Beach and, down south. This is, you're showing up, you're going to learn, you're going to grow with everybody else around you who's doing the same thing.
And that's really the kind of space that I've wanted to create. And also kind of my message or just my vibe behind Paradox Fitness has always been like, you're doing the best you can, and life is hard and workouts sometimes suck, but like learning how to pick ourselves back up when we fail or we do, we don't do as good as we wanted to do. And learning how to grow from those things that's just life. Right. And
Absolutely.
So I want that space to be a place where people can grow and take care of themselves. And
it's gym's a good example of, and probably why it's a really apropos name that you picked there with Paradox, because the hard stuff is what makes the good stuff. Yeah. It's the opposite of that. And I was wondering where you came up with the name Paradox. And so is there a reason behind that, or did I come close?
Well, very close. Okay. Yeah. So Paradox, I think for myself, the name came because a lot of the time I just thought to get the body you wanted or be in the best shape, you had to like push yourself as hard as you wanted or as hard as you could. Yeah. And what I realized after having my son was that sometimes actually doing a little less and being a little less perfect, quote unquote, is actually better for your results, because all the things that I said about like food and stuff and like following the perfect diet or like the most ideal every single day, or like getting into the gym and having the greatest workout every single time, or, not ever missing a day or any of those things. Like it's so dumb, because that is not actually what is needed to reach health. It is a good balance of it all. Yeah. So doing a little bit less sometimes gives you more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
perfect. Well, if you want to learn more about the paradox of fitness, then you need to go to Paradox Fitness and reach out to Emma Romo. So on Instagram, it is paradox_fit, and you can DM there. Do you have the web address again? You want me to do the magic cut and you can look it up?
It's paradoxfitness.gymmaster.com.
So that was Gymmaster Online.
Gymmaster Online.
Yep. So Paradox Fitness at gymmasteronline.com.
Paradoxfitness.gymmaster.
It's too many things.
Why is it so dumb? It's paradoxfitness.gymmasteronline.com.
That's it. We got it. So you can reach out there.
Yeah, sorry it's so long.
You're probably better going to Instagram.
Yep.
Paradox_fit.
Yep.
DM there. So you need to get out there, get a membership, get going. It's going to be the happening spot. I'm telling you, a lot of people have been coming to me already like, who's building this gym? What's going on? Like, other clients of mine are going, what is the deal with this gym? And I'm like, listen to the podcast. We'll tell you all about it. Absolutely. Last question I had, how did you get that spot? That's like a coveted spot in Bishop.
People like me. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
No.
End there. No.
Well, when I wanted to do something someday and was like, it'd be really cool to open a gym. I started just looking around and seeing what was out there as far as spaces go. And when I called the gentleman who owns Bishop Plaza.
He's a good friend of the show too. He's cool.
Dan, yeah. So he was like, well, we don't have anything, but I'll take your name down. What's your Instagram? This and that and that. And he followed me on Instagram ever since. We connected a bit here and there about spaces that were maybe coming available. And I was like, it's too small.
Like
or
Elevate's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm like,
no,
small, I don't think could do a gym in there.
Yeah.
And then when that space was possibly going to open up, he's like, hey, do you want to check it out? Maybe you can partner here or something. I went and looked at it, and I thought it was a really cool spot. Said, hey, if it ever comes available, like I would take it. Just let me know.
Yeah.
And then when the tenants gave their notice, I was the first person he called. I think him following what I did on Instagram too, he was like, he believed in me.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
That's great.
So here we are. And I got that space.
Excellent. Yeah. So the space we're talking about, in case you don't know what we're talking about, is out in the used to be Rite Aid shopping plaza. You've got Big Five, Subway, Domino's, all the stuff that you shouldn't be eating is right around the gym. So right in the corner of that L-shaped building is now Paradox Fitness, Emma Romo. Excellent. Emma, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
It was very enlightening and fun, and it was super cool to connect and reconnect in a sense with you, seeing as your brother was my friend growing up, and we're still friends, but I mean, I just see it. It's been years since I've seen him or anything. So tell him I think he's a big nerd, and and he needs to reach out and buy me a beer.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Well, I'm on keto. He needs to buy me a whiskey.
There you go.
Yeah, I can have whiskey. Awesome. Okay, so Emma, if there's anything else that you want to put out there, now's your time. If you're good, we'll send you on your way. And remember, the secret word was
Castell.
Kastelle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Just keep going, guys. Day by day.
Good ending words. Thank you for that. Okay, we got real with Emma Romo, and you guys can tune back in next week. We'll have another fantastic guest. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Woo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Up top. Good job.
That was awesome.
Now.
Get real.